Hi everyone. Good day. Today is April 11 of 2021, a Sunday, and today marks the last day of enhanced community quarantine in our country. And as of today, according to CNN Philippines, the president itself will be addressing the country on whether to extend or leave the ECQ in Metro Manila and the four nearby provinces. National Capital Region, Cavite, Bulacan, Laguna, and Rizal is now known as the Greater Manila Area or NCR Plus bubble, is in ECQ, while the rest of the country is in MGCQ or General Community Quarantine. The public awaits the new decision while subscribed to their gadgets, radios, computer, televisions, and internet. All the while, the press media and journalists are working on dispensing news and information to the public. Their job in this pandemic has been essential on debunking misinformation, acknowledge public discussions on trending topics and issues. Therefore, I'd like to say that journalists' jobs and journalism in this time of crisis is really one of the most important thing that we rely on information. So I would like to open this discussion, or for today's major discussion. My name is Michelle, together with Pauline and Deo, and we are going to answer three major questions that is related to journalists and journalism itself. So let's proceed with the first question that would be answered by Pauline.
Hi, good afternoon, everyone. The first question in our virtual talk is why journalists apparently so mistrusted by the public? There's apparently a lot of reasons why we mistrust the media itself or the media in general. According to the article, journalists have the privilege to lay their eyes first in different information, and they have the ability to meet the higher ups, such as well-known people, politicians, actors, actors. In my opinion, journalism has always been the side of politics. Due to those reasons, journalism is mistrusted by the public because when we say journalism, it always has been mirrored to bribery, or the government has been controlling the news. They have the ability to they have the ability to manipulate. They have the ability to manipulate the news. They have the ability to spread news, fake news that apparently the public will believe because they are journalists. They have the privilege, or they have the name as a journalist, that every words that they are saying is true. And that way, there's also a survey in the journal that says the article shows that 77% of the public says that they don't trust the media itself because apparently here in the Philippines, media is equals to politics. There are lots of higher ups who paid to be the news in favor of them. They manipulate the public. They manipulate everything to look good in the eyes of others and to gain trust of the public, which apparently is not working in today's generation, because of course the generation are more aware of um, this kind of works inside this industry. That would be all.
Oh, I actually do agree with that because right now we needed the most the journalist part of the country or the news itself that we rely on in getting information. It tends to be biased since journalism itself tends to be political. Somehow, the writers or maybe some of the writers, actually not all of them, are bound to their political views, and some of them made sense and some of them really is making sense. It's just that it's not it's not really it's not really something that everyone would agree on. It's like the journalist's job is to tell the bitter truth, and the public doesn't like that.
I agree.
And that actually leads me to the second question that we have, and that would be, what skills does a good journalist need? My answer to this, and actually upon reading the article that we have, I think two of the important and skills or that a journalist should have is, first, they should be able to bound their work to with ethical considerations. Why? Because they are addressing the public. They are one of the peoples that is and should be um, open to the public and be reliable to the if they should be reliable, right? Because they are giving out information, say. And the second one is, they should be able to do, or their work should be always honest work, right? Because if it's not honest, and our journalism itself and the information they are relying is not true, how could we tell it, right? Because they should be able to research it, um decide upon researching if this information should be out to public and such things like that. And I just actually, I am into studying this journalist before, actually just recently, because I've watched the series of the story of Princess Diana. And that during that time, it actually is a big topic for journalists and papers, because during that time it was said that Princess Diana is assassin. Yeah, the term assassin is used during that time. The assassin by journalists and um yeah, the ones that writes the paper and everything like that, because she's one of the popular women in the world during that time, and everyone is taking pictures of her, writing pictures about her to gain money. And with that being said, one time she was going to Paris, and some of the paparazzis are following her. That's why the car accident happened. That leads to her death. And that is one of the reasons that journalism should be bound to ethical consideration, because we are telling this truth to to the public and giving out information to the public, but also, we should consider where are we getting it from. If we are stalking a celebrity, we should also bound it to their privacy. Am I correct?
Yes, yes, I agree with you.
Because even though we
I
want it
also
to
agree.
be even though we want it to be publicized, we should always consider their privacy, their human rights, diba? We should not be just we should take this out and give it to the public. Let's not consider if she is a royalty or anything. She's a celebrity. Everyone should know about it. That is wrong. We should always be bound to ethical considerations and laws and norms in the society before creating a writing about anything else. And it should always be honest work. What
Yeah,
do you
I
say, Deo?
Thank you, Miss Pauline and Miss Michelle. Can we go back to the previous question, please? Okay, so why journalists apparently so mistrusted by the public? Um, my position about this is I don't think it's the journalists which are being mistrusted. Um, in my own point of view, I think it is about the context of the news or the content of the news or information being distributed or being propagated in the public. And when the public knows or identifies that it is misinformation or fake news, um, the public would be enraged, or they might be angry that they are being fed with misinformation. I think that by doing good journalism in good practice, or doing uh, good practices in journalism, we can convey, or we can we can convey correct information which is accurate, um, reli- reliable, or ayun, the source of information is reliable and accurate. And with that, the journalists can surpass obstacles or any adversity in the profession. That's my position in the first question.
Okay, let's move on.
Yeah, Kuya Deo, we are at the third question, the one that you are assigned to. The next one,
Okay.
pal. There you go.
So, is a journalist a profession or a worker? Um, I think a journalist is a kind of a profession because journalism is a career that anyone can engage. If you are in the public service, um, journalism is a form of spreading information, spreading news, and it is an engagement of public work. It is someone, or a journalist is someone who uses language through communication and uses different styles, approach, techniques, and strategies in delivering information. I would say this because journalists are professionals in delivering information, trends, and distribute information with verifiable sources. I think one of the most important job of a journalist is to deliver accurate, reliable, and credible sources of information which is delivered into the public, or fit for public consumption. And that's all.
Yeah, actually, I also do agree with journalist being a profession because it is actually something that you do because usually you want to correct something, right? You want to speak about awareness, you want to speak about your politics view, that's why you write and research, right? Do you agree with that, Pao?
Yes, I agree with that. Being a journalist is a profession that comes with big responsibility. It's something that we do to inform the public, not just something we do for fun, right?
Yes, I agree. I also agree because um, with the misinformation that is being spread in the internet, um, we really are in need of journalists who can um, share their sources which are credible and accurate.
Yes, I agree with that.
Yes, and I think that's all for today about journalists in our major discussion. Thank you for the two of you and for the first really interesting answers about this profession. Is there anything else that we'd like to add about in this discussion before we end this?
Um,
No, that would
just
be all for
wait, just an additional information about the second question,
Sure.
if it's okay.
Yeah, it's okay.
So what are the skills which a good journalist needs. I think that journalist needs good communication, and ayun, this is an essential because a journalist needs a journalist needs to communicate with good pronunciation and eloquence. Um, it is important to deliver information to the public, and that's for my answer.
Yeah, that is true. We actually need to be good with communicating if we are journalists so that we could connect with the people through our writings. Okay.
Yes.
A
Is there
good
anything else?
communicator.
Yeah. Anything else?
I
Other
think that would be all.
perspective? Okay,
I,
amazing. So, okay, that will be all for today for our major discussion, and thank you for your time. Again, we have reached the end of our verbal talk, and thank you for the both of you. Have a great day.
Thank you.
Bye.
thank you.